Hi, I'm showing you today how to make a graph and get it into a Google Doc. All right, it's actually really easy. I typed the directions here. So if you're a person who is more verbal and wants to go read the directions, you sure can. But I can show you here in about maybe 2 minutes. All right. So first thing it says to do is to fill in this chart for your data. So if you notice above, for the 3 years that you collected wolf data and you rolled your dice, there are these yellow cells in the total number. April 1st, July 1st, October 1st, and January 1st. If you would jot down those numbers or remember them, you have better memory than I do, you don't have to write them down, I'd have to write them down. Scroll down and then type those numbers into the data table. So let's pretend in April my number was 12. Instead of hitting enter, it works best if you just use the arrow down button. I'll arrow down my next year, month by July, I only had 8. In October, we were up to 15. January of the next year, we're up to 13. And then you go grab the numbers for year 2 and year 3 in just the same way. So I'm going to pretend like I scrolled up, grabbed my numbers from these yellow boxes, and put it in this chart right here. So I'm just going to fill in what my numbers were when I played this game. All right. Yours shouldn't be exactly the same as mine, because yours are going to be different. All right. So I'm just going to pretend that these were my numbers and whatever when I played the game. So the next step then is to select this. I think. Oh, no, let's not select it yet. Go up here to insert. Here's a really important thing. Wherever your cursor is, so if you see my cursor is right in the July box right now, this blinking line, that's where it's going to put your graph. So you need to have the cursor where you actually want it to put the graph. So if you click behind, if I click here and I arrow down, okay, I actually want my cursor to be underneath the chart. If you put it in the chart, it's going to put your graph in the chart. You don't want it there. Make sure your blinking line, make sure your cursor here is below the chart. Then I go to insert. Oops, I selected something here. All right, then I go to insert, chart, and I choose line because I want to make a line graph out of this data. So I go line and I go insert a chart. And it will make a fake graph for me here. When I click on the fake graph, it has something like points scored, teams. I don't want any of that. So to edit this, I click this little link and I click open a source. And it will open up this chart in a spreadsheet. This little green icon here means this is a spreadsheet. So you got to let it work. You got to have a little patience, especially if your internet is slow. Our internet is slow at the school here today. I'm going to scroll all the way left. I'm going to scroll all the way up until I see this data. This chart thing here, you can select this and move it around. I like to move it, get it out of my way. I'm going to select all their fake data here, and I'm going to delete it. Okay, now it shows there's nothing here, so I get no data. I'm going to click back into my wolf thing here. I'm in the wrong one. 1 second. Got to get into the right document. And I'm going to go up to where my data was. I'm going to select all of my data. Okay, and then you can right click and hit copy, or I'm just going to do Control C. I'm going to copy all that data. And then I have a lot of documents open here, you guys. Why don't I just get down to the 3 you might have open? Then I'm going to click back into my spreadsheet. I'm going to go to cell A1. It's really important that you're in cell A1. I'm going to right click and just do a paste. All right, and hit enter. Oh, that didn't work right. Something went wrong. If something goes wrong, hit undo. All right. So I'm going to go edit. Let's just go edit and paste right there. And there it is. There it shows up correctly. All right. And then here is, it's taken all of my data that I typed in and it's made me a nice little chart. Okay. Problem with it is it still says points scored at the top. So if I click that, I can go in and edit that title and I can change the title to, boy, the internet is real slow here today. I'm sorry if you're struggling with slow internet here today too. I can go in and get a cursor in here. If I keep clicking, usually it works. All right, I'm getting sick of doing it that way. So if you go over, it'll open up this little window, title text. I can change this to wolf population. And then it will change my title text here. The x-axis looks good. The computer put in the label time of year, so we have all of our different dates that are in here already. But the numbers here, we don't have any y-axis label. So if I change this drop down to vertical axis title, I can put in number of wolves. And then you'll see that it'll put the y-axis title right there. So now my graph looks, if you want to play around in here, you don't have to, but you can change the colors, you can change the background, you can really fancy up your graph, you can change how it looks if you want to do that, and you want to play around with that, something kind of useful to know for various things. So once I get it looking the way I want it to look, then I simply click back into my document. I go to this weird graph that says points scored, and I simply hit update. And now it has updated for the graph that I made. All right, so that is how you make a graph in a Google Doc. Good luck. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you have questions. See if you can get it to work, and have a great day. Email me if you have questions. I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to help.